Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Clarity Tarot and Astrology. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys are all doing very well and are excited for your weekend love reading. So, on this stream, we're going to be doing an in depth love reading, looking at the energy of your love interest, seeing how he is currently thinking and feeling about you and your connection this weekend. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and keep on watching. Or if you're watching in the recording, you can go ahead and skip ahead to the reading. But for those of you who are joining me live, hello, welcome. If you are joining live, you can get a live reading here with me. I am offering free readings as well as paid readings. So if you would like a free reading, there is a link in the description box. Go ahead and sign up, and we'll do your reading right after the general reading. Hello, Sarah. Welcome. And if you don't make the free list or you have an additional question, then you can always donate for a reading as well. If you're a member of the channel and you have some free monthly readings, as we've just entered into a new month, all of the readings have reset. So if you want to use your readings, you can do that as well. Let me know. Okay. And if you're watching in the recorded, or you're just someone that enjoys private readings, I do offer those as well. So the link for the private reading will be in the description box. Okay. Besides that, I did also release my May love reading. So if you want to know what to expect for the entire month of May, I highly recommend checking that reading out because that is basically how the relationships are going to be tracking the whole month. So you'll just have a heads up on what's going on with that person. And I put the link for that in the description, or you can check that out on the channel. All right, guys. So I think that's everything from me at the top of the stream. Hope you guys are all doing well after that full moon in Scorpio and you're excited for a brand new month. Yes, good job, Sarah. Thank you so much for signing up. And yes, I was like just feeling super called to come on. And if I like don't follow the call, I like feel super anxious. So I'm like, let's do it. Let's do what happens. So yes, thank you for joining me live so early. I appreciate it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's get started. Let's see what's going on with your man and see what you need to know. All right. So, most important messages in love, please. How is your person currently thinking and feeling about you? How are they thinking and feeling about your connection? What do they want you to know? All right, let's cut the deck here. All right, guys. So, in your person's overall energy towards you at this time, we've got the Nine of Pentacles, which is very, very nice. So, just in general, when this person thinks about you, they just feel a sense of peace. Okay. With you, it's like, let me say this, with the majority of girls that this person has been involved with, or, if they're like on a dating app and they're talking to people, when they talk to most people, they sense that the person is kind of chaotic or maybe has like some drama going on, or it's just sort of like a mess, okay? But with you, they feel like you're just like a normal girl. You're just like a normal girl who has her life together, who can take care of herself, that's just doing her thing. And you're like a viable dating option, okay? Like, yes, there are a lot of other girls that this person has access to. There's a lot of other girls that this person, um, may be involved with in some way or another, right? They could be in contact or communication with like other potential people. But out of all the people, you are just like the most stable and just like normal of the girls. This person feels like you have a really good head on your shoulder. They feel like you're very intelligent. You're beautiful, but you're also very intelligent as well. You're very sexy, but they know that you're stable. You're not like unstable, right? Like I feel like this person encounters a lot of people who may be attractive, but they're also very unstable, okay? And they're sort of looking for this person to bring stability to their life. With you, they don't feel like that. They feel like you have a structure for your life, you have a plan for your life, you know where your life is going, like with or without this person, you're going to be completely fine. So this person just feels at ease with you. They feel at peace with you. They feel safe with you. Like they don't feel like you're going to do anything bad to them. They don't feel like you're going to like play them or betray them, or they don't feel like you're playing games. They don't feel like you are um like immature or toxic, okay? Like I'm just like I'm like getting this person's emotions like as they're talking to certain people and they're just like, "Oh my god, this person's an idiot." Like sometimes that's like kind of like the reaction that this person has is they're just like, "Okay, yeah, this person's attractive, but they're like a total airhead." Like that's the like interactions that this person is having or has had. And so with you, it's a completely different situation. Like you are miles ahead of the rest. And so when this person thinks about you, they feel a lot of peace, they feel a lot of safety, they feel secure, they feel like this is actually something that can turn into something long term. Okay. So, like, yeah, there might be other people around or other people that this person is interested in or whatever, but it's like you're the only one that this person can see something long term and significant happening with. Okay. So, yeah, and that's coming up this weekend because this person might be out and about. They might be um at an event this weekend, they might be at a bar this weekend, they might be at a party this weekend. Like I feel like they might be around the company of the opposite sex at some point this weekend. And I feel like the message that's coming through is like, don't worry about it. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it's completely fine. This person sees your value and they, even if they are like presented with somebody, they're going to be comparing that person to you and you are going to win in comparison to that person. Okay. So that's what I feel Spirit wants you to know overall right now. So the way this person is thinking about you this weekend, we have the 5 of swords. Yeah. So I do feel like it's possible this weekend that you and this person maybe like aren't in as much communication as you normally are. Like maybe you talk to this person every single day. You may not talk to this person this weekend like the way you normally do, but like I said, I think it's because this person might be out and about. They might be at some type of gathering or there could be some sort of party or event that they're at. So it feels like you guys are just on different pages, like your focuses and where you're at and your availability this weekend seems to be on different pages. So again, don't start getting insecure or don't start um thinking the worst or losing your confidence if this person isn't reaching out to you and then like that they're out. Don't automatically think like, "Oh, they must be with someone else or they're talking to someone else," or anything like that. It's not that at all. It's just likely that you guys are just on different pages in terms of like where you're at this weekend, okay? Um, yes, very interesting that this is the message that's coming through and why I felt I need to come on and give this message. So obviously this is for somebody, but bottom of the deck, I do have the strength card as well. So I feel like one other thing that is going on in this connection, kind of like underneath the surface, is that this person's tastes are being refined. Like they're starting to understand what they actually want in a relationship. And a lot of that is because of you. Like a lot of that is because of you. Like before, this person, I feel like, wasn't always good at reading or gauging like how good a woman was. Like they kind of were maybe just superficially looking at a woman and then being like, okay, yeah, like I like her. But I feel like with you, this person understands like love and relationships and connections are a lot deeper than that. Like you have to like the person more than just their physical appearance. You have to actually like have things in common and you have to have similar values and you have to get along well. You have to have good communication. Like it's just deeper. So that's another thing too that's coming through is that you may be a bit more um aware of what you want in a relationship, and I feel like this person is a little bit less aware of what they want in a relationship. So your readiness for relationship is also on different levels as well. So that's like the friction that you might be feeling this weekend, or the a realization that you might be having this weekend with this person is like, oh, okay, like you're starting to see like how you are different in terms of your relationship readiness. Okay. So the way this person feels about you, wow, we have the temperance. Yes. And that kind of goes along with exactly what I was just saying. This person is learning a lot with you. Okay. I feel like you treat this person in such a way that almost heals them from past relationships and past connections. Like the respect you give them, the love you give them, the attention you give them, the admiration you give them is like on another level than what they have experienced in the past. And I feel like this person has had some kind of challenging experiences in regards to love and relationships. Some of it his fault, some of it the other person's fault, okay? But I feel like a lot of this person's bad experiences are being challenged by you. Like, I feel like this person had some ideas about relationships and about women, and now they're kind of like, well, that's not true because she's like this and she's, she treats me like this and she behaves like this. And, it's like you're kind of showing him a whole different experience than he's ever had before. And it's helping him to look back at past relationships and go, oh, like they never did that for me, or they never treated me like that, or they never made me feel like that. It's making them think. So again, this is all tying back to this like overall message is even if this person is in the company of other women, or other people are like reaching out to them this weekend, or this person's like swiping this weekend, and not talking to you, it's like in that distance, they're actually seeing you very clearly, and they're actually seeing like, "Oh, wow, like she really is so much better than all of these other people. Like all these other people are trash in comparison to her." So he's learning a lot, he's realizing a lot. And I feel like you're taking him to the next level, which was a big theme in the May reading, right? The overall energy in that reading was the Hierophant. And the message I was getting from that reading is that you're helping this person to level up. You're guiding this person forward, whether you realize it or not. Whether you are conscious of it, you are actually really helping this person to um, kind of be more discerning and to be more intelligent and to really understand like the purpose of relationships. So there's a lot of growth and healing and learning going on inside of this person in regards to you that they may not always communicate to you, but it's definitely happening. Okay. So the way they feel about your connection, we have the Hierophant. Yes, I was just saying this. Yes, that's what this person feels. This is, again, if you haven't watched that May reading, make sure you guys go watch that reading because it's very important to understand what was going on there. We might get a little taste of that in this reading, but yes, like I always say that love is the greatest teacher, right? When you are in love with someone, it teaches you so much about yourself and teaches you so much about relationships. And that's what's happening with you. Like by interacting with you, dating with you, whatever the situation is with you and your person, this person is realizing, okay, wow, like I need to do better, or I need to do more, or I need to level up, or if I'm going to be with her, then I need to make sure that this part of my life is better. So you're giving him a lot of direction, you're giving him a lot of clarity, you're giving him a lot of purpose. Okay. So, also, with that being said, your connection is different than everybody else's connection that he has or has had in the past. It's different in the sense that it feels really meaningful. Like it feels like there's something here. It feels like there's depth. It feels like there's substance. Whereas with other people he talks to or has talked to or whatever, been involved with, there's like no substance. It's very surface level. It's very dry, it's very transactional, it's just maybe about, you know, connecting on a physical level, but not really anything more than that, like and that might kinda be I'm kinda getting that might be the type of relationships this person has been having, like, maybe they've been having a lot of, like, physical relationships, um, a lot of, like, casual hookups and things like that, but not able to get beyond that. And so with you, this person feels like there's something here beyond the physical. Like, yes, this person is very physically attracted to you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be talking to you. Like, truly, they would not be talking if they were not physically attracted to you. But they sense there's just something more. You can take them farther, you can take them higher. And that also keeps this person very intrigued with you. Okay. So the challenge when it comes to this person is the 3 of swords. Yes, yes. This is oh my god. This is so crazy. So yeah, this person has definitely been hurt in past relationships or not necessarily hurt, but just like disappointed or frustrated or just kind of like, "Oh, what's the point of dating?" Like, I feel like this person has definitely had their moments where they're like, "Nobody good is out there," or, "I keep attracting the same type of girl that's like this or that." I definitely think he's had a maybe a difficult run or he's had a challenging run. Um, he may have had, some bad experiences, and this kind of has left a bad taste in his mouth, and as I said that, I'm, like, wanting to have a drink of water. Yeah, like, I feel like he kind of has a little bit of a bad taste in his mouth from either a past relationship or just the general state of his dating life, like, it's been difficult, okay? It's definitely been difficult. He hasn't had the best of experiences. So, you know, there's like kind of two things that are happening with you right now. There's one side of this where, this person's getting to know you and you guys are like, you know, building your connection and all of that. But then there's another side of this for him where you're sort of like, you're healing him in a way. There's another side of this where you're you're proving to him that, hey, there are still good girls out there. Hey, there are people that you can have a good connection with. There are people that, you can have a long-term relationship with. So you're kind of proving him wrong. Like he has a lot of like negative ideas about love and dating and women, and you're sort of like actively proving that wrong. And so he's also this weekend maybe taking a step back to think and go, maybe maybe this is just the one, maybe I've been having all these bad experiences because those women were just not the right women. Those were just not the right people for me. It's like, how they say for girls, you kiss a lot of frogs. It's kind of the same thing. Like maybe he's been kissing a lot of frogs. I don't know what the female version of that is, but he's been kissing a lot of frogs, and now he's like, oh my god, here's my princess. But he's also a little bit still in disbelief, I would say as well. Like there's still a part of him that's like, maybe this is too good to be true, or maybe eventually this is going to go bad. So he is sort of a little bit pessimistic, I would say, about love and dating in general, not necessarily you. He's actually very optimistic when it comes to you, but he is still carrying around like a little bit of like a chip on his shoulder, or he's a little bit jaded in guards in relation to relationships. Okay. So because of that, he may not be super fast to commit to you. He may not be super quick to like super open up to you and tell you certain things because he's maybe wanting to take his time and ensure that this is like actually what he thinks it is before he allows himself to fall in love. I do feel like he has fallen in love before and it hasn't worked out. And that experience definitely has changed him, has definitely shaped him, and he's not necessarily in any rush to get back to that feeling again. So that is still a factor here. Okay. All right. Let's go one layer deeper here. Let's clarify the cards on the table, get a little bit more information. All right, clarifying the Nine of Pentacles and his overall towards you, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Yes. Yeah. He can legitimately see himself walking down the long road with you. Like, seriously. Oh, and this is like, yeah, I'm like, let me tell you guys what is coming through here. I'm seeing him like out, and I'm seeing him with like a group of people. And I'm seeing him feeling like, you know, what is the point of all of this? Or all of this is so meaningless unless I have someone to share it with. I'm kind of getting from him that he's starting to realize that a life lived with someone is so much worth living than a life alone. And why I feel like that's such a big deal for him is I feel like this is someone who maybe is the bachelor type, maybe is the single type, maybe is the guy that's like, I'm never gonna settle down, or I'm never gonna do this, or I'm never gonna do that. But now with you, he's thinking about those types of things, the same things that he would say, like, oh, I'm not gonna do that, or why commit when I can keep my options open. I feel like he's slowly but surely starting to see the other side of that, and starting to see like how it would be so much more beneficial for him to build and go deep with one person rather than to have all of these little superficial disappointing connections with a bunch of people just to be able to say that he's like free. So I'm like seeing him right now. I'm seeing him like out and about. He's like holding his drink and he's like off in thought. Like even though there's like all these people around him, he's like off in thought thinking about, you know what? I think life would be better if I did commit, if I did get serious, and if I did take the long road. And honestly, you are the one that's bringing this thought about in him. You're the one that's making him rethink this, way that he's been going about his dating life, this mentality that he's been going about. Now, I'm not going to say that, tomorrow he's going to ask you to marry him. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying with the Ace of Pentacles is I feel like he's starting to soften towards the idea of building a long-term connection. And again, he only feels this way with you. And the reason he feels this way with you is going back to the original card, the Nine of Pentacles, because he feels very safe with you. He feels very secure with you. He feels like you're just like a normal, average, regular girl who doesn't have a bunch of problems and baggage. And you actually bring a lot of good energy to his life. And I feel like he wouldn't want to lose you, like normally, if he's talking to a girl and he's not really feeling her that much, like he doesn't really care whether he loses contact with her or not. But with you, he very much so wants to be in contact with you. He very much so wants to stay connected to you. He very much so wants to continue to see where this goes and where this heads. So he's like, am I going to make a commitment here? Like he's starting to question himself. Like, are we making a commitment here? Are we going to start to get serious here? The wheels are starting to turn in that direction for you. Okay, but only for you. Like it's only something he's thinking for you. It's not something that he was looking for and then he found it with you. He was going in the other direction where he was wanting to be single, and then you kind of came in and he's like, wait a minute, maybe I need to consider this other side. So I'm not saying he's going to make a commitment soon. I'm just saying, like, just with you, the wheels are turning in that direction. Okay, clarifying the Five of Swords and the way he's thinking about you, we have the Seven of Pentacles. Yes. Again, you guys are definitely on different pages right now, different energies right now. And with the Seven of Pentacles, if he was to make this decision to start to commit with you, this would be a really big change in his life. Like I said, he kind of was going down this whole other road. And for him to then decide to potentially get in a relationship with you, he would be getting on a whole different road. Okay, like he's gonna have to cut across lanes and like get off on this exit, all crazy. And that's what he's trying to figure out is, am I really going to take this turn? I feel like you are more willing to go down this road. You're more willing to commit. You're more willing to compromise. You're more willing to work things out, um, to build the relationship. You're more willing to like move your life around and things like that. And not to say that he's not willing to do those things, but it's just not the path he's naturally on at this particular moment in time. So it's going to take a lot of contemplation. It's going to take contemplation, which again, why you may not hear from him. Don't think this weekend if you don't hear from him that that's like a bad thing, it's a bad sign. He's not thinking about you. No, it's the complete opposite, and he may actually need time and perspective away from you to get clarity about what he wants to do here. Clarifying the Temperance and how he feels about you, we have the Emperor. Yes. This is the thing. You actually make him feel stronger. And that's a lot of men think this. They think that when they're in a relationship, like it's going to make them weaker. They're not going to have their freedom. They're going to have someone telling them what to do, somebody nagging them all the time, someone bringing them down. But this person sees the complete opposite with you. They're like, actually, with you, I feel stronger. I feel more like myself. I feel more confident. It feels good when you have someone that's like loving you and looking up to you and, admiring you. So it's like this person actually thinks, wait a minute, my life could be better in this relationship. Whereas, to be honest, this person has the mindset that they think relationships are like a drag. They think relationships are like, you know, boring and not fun and there's no spontaneity and you fight all the time and it's annoying like because that's probably been his experience when he was in relationships or was dating someone significantly. It probably was like that where the person was very draining to them, the person was very annoying, the person did hold them back or things like that. So that's why they sort of have that bad taste in their mouth. But with you, they don't think that. They don't think your relationship would be like that. They think your relationship would actually be very beneficial. They think your relationship would be very, very good. They think your relationship would actually, again, give them purpose, give them purpose, give them meaning. Because right now, I feel like this person's kind of just going through the motions of life. I feel like they're kind of just showing up to things and not really knowing why they're showing up. They're just working hard and maybe not really knowing why they're working hard. Like maybe they're saving money and they don't even know why they're saving money. You know what I mean? It's like, for all intents and purposes, this person's probably doing fine, right? Like their life's probably okay. But it just doesn't have any like meaning or purpose or, you know, feeling like it matters. It's sort of just like blah. So they feel like you give them kind of a reason to work harder, or, you guys will have shared goals together that you're going to work on. You guys are going to go, you're going to do things together. And that's like kind of exciting him. He's like, yeah, like that would be really cool. Like, there may be certain things that he's thought about doing himself, like maybe he's thought about traveling to a particular place or, um, maybe buying a house or starting a business. Maybe he's thought about doing things like that, but then when he thinks about doing it with you, he's like, "Oh, that would make it so much more fun." Like that would make it so much more fun or it would be easier or at least I'd have support. So he's like, "Wait, there actually might be a benefit to this relationship, right? It might actually make things easier or better or more fun or more exciting." So, you got him thinking completely differently, like completely differently. Clarifying the hierophant and how he feels about your connection. Ooh, we have the King of Wands. Yes. Again, yes, you're doing a lot of good things for him internally, but also too, like he's just really attracted to you. He's just really, really, really attracted to you. He also finds himself very turned on by you. Like the testosterone is definitely high. Okay. And he kind of likes just having, you know, a lover. It's always so nice to have someone in your life that you just have love towards, right? And that's kind of the way he feels about you. You just add this little extra spice, you add this little extra flavor, you add this little extra energy. He has a little extra pep in his step. He, looks forward to seeing your text message, pop in to hear that little ding. He looks forward to that. He looks forward to getting pictures of you. He looks forward to that. It just like adds a little extra, element to his day, which otherwise would be pretty dry, pretty mundane, pretty boring. So you do just make him feel good. And there's just something to be said about that. When someone just makes you feel good and you have nothing but positive energy towards them, you have to consider what that might mean. You have to consider, what this is. And that's what's going on with you. Like, you're definitely making this person take a double take, or you're making them think twice. Um, there's a lot of consideration that's going on in regards to you and regards to dating and life and how this all kind of fits into the grand scheme of his life. So, yeah. So, it's like multiple things. You serve multiple purposes, and they're both very beneficial for him. So you just add so much value. That's just what it is. All right. The challenge here, clarifying the Three of Swords, guys, we have the Two of Cups. So again, he definitely has had some really bad experiences in regards to relationships. And so he has a guard up, he has a wall up, he has some, you know, just negative limiting beliefs around relationships that he has to work through, you know. Um I do feel like, not that he's still, like, hung up on an ex, but he is maybe still a little bit, like, jaded by the experience, like, "Oh, never gonna do that again," or, you know, "Don't wanna end up in that situation again." He definitely has a strong feeling like that. Um I feel like there's, like, so much more there. I feel so much weight and pressure on my chest. Let's actually clarify that a little bit more, get a little bit more information about that. So please clarify the Two of Cups and Three of Swords. Okay, I have two cards. I have the Empress and I have the Two of Wands. Yeah. Yeah, there was definitely someone who, again, he found this person very attractive, and there was good energy there. And it didn't work out, it didn't pan out, it didn't turn into what he thought it was. So he's kind of been here before. He's been in this position where, you know, something in him was telling him, that something was good, and then it didn't turn out good. So he is a little bit more hesitant when it comes to dating. He is a little bit more hesitant when it comes to um getting involved. Okay. There is an experience that he had that did go south, and it's still with him. It's kind of still with him. Yeah, I have the Two of Swords. It's still with him. Not necessarily the person. It's not the person, it's the experience. I feel like he really wanted to be with this person. I feel like he maybe chased this person. I feel like he um put a lot in to trying to make it work, or trying to see if it would work, only for it to be futile in the end. Like, it feels like he put in a lot of effort and got nothing out of it. Okay. The question is, we're not going to go into that in this particular reading. Like, the question is like, you know, did he not see certain red flags? Was he not in the right energy? There's probably there's a lot more to the story, I would feel. Um But I definitely feel like whatever that experience was, it's still here. And as he gets to this threshold with you, his brain goes, "Hey, wait a minute, like last time we fell in love, last time we did this, something bad happened." So it's like he's kind of having to fight against his nervous system that could be telling him like, you know, careful. So he's not all in, and that's where you and him may be very different. Not in your chemistry together, not in your interest or level of attraction. That might be very much so the same. Where you guys may be very different is your readiness to go into a connection, your emotional availability, your willingness to put your heart on the line, right? That's where you guys, I can see, are kind of differing. So I don't feel like you need to prove anything to him. I feel like this is more of something that he needs to resolve, and he needs to decide, like, am I going to let my past experiences affect me from having something really good right now? Okay. So that's a him thing. All right, let's get some messages from him. Let's see what he wants to say to you. Wow. Yeah, we have I lost myself for a little while. I feel like what this is saying is he did lose himself as a result of a connection going bad. He did kind of go into maybe like a depression, or he did go into like a little bit of like a, slump, or he had a little bit of sadness. I do feel like he did go through a hard time as a result of a woman, as a result of a relationship or connection not really going the way he wanted to. So I feel like he is really afraid of that. He's really afraid of getting super invested into something and it not working out again. So that's where he can hold himself back with you, even if he does think you're amazing, even if you are doing absolutely everything right and giving him all of the green flags. He is afraid of feeling the way that he has felt in the past before. Ooh, okay. Also, what just came out is I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. Yes. I feel like, whether this connection with you and this person pans out and works out, I feel like you are healing him from that experience. Like I said, you're sort of like you're proving him wrong in a lot of ways. You're showing him like, no, there are good girls out there. I can find somebody good to be in a relationship. I can do relationship again. Like you're sort of helping to rebuild his confidence in relationship, and that alone is a win. That alone is a win. That alone is a success to him. And if that's like what this gives to him, he'll be really, really happy for that and really thankful for that, and will always like love you for that, for just that alone. So just know that. And at the bottom of the deck, I have, I feel you even though we are apart. So, yes, saying this again, but if this weekend, if you and this person, you're not talking as much, or you don't talk, or you don't see each other like in the way you thought, like it's really because he's in contemplation mode. And I think that's a good thing, because if this is going to move forward, there are a lot of things that he needs to resolve within himself, a lot of loops he needs to close within himself, so he can present to you, more stable. Okay, there's like a lot a lot of messages that want to come through. One more message, please, from him. Okay, there's two that want to come out. Wow. We have I replay our conversations over and over. That's sweet. And sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. Yes. Yes. Very, very much so. Very, very much so. As I was saying with the King of Wands, this connection just adds so much positive energy to his life. And even like thinking about the interactions that you've had, or rereading your text messages, it gives him like another hit of positivity. Like it just gives him another hit of good energy. So you don't have to always be in communication with him. You don't have to always be talking to him for him to feel good vibes towards you, for him to feel admiration towards you, for him to feel, you know, love towards you. That's just his default with you. That's just like the default level. That's the default setting that you're on with him. So, yes, he does reread your conversations and think about, things you guys did and all of that. He does that. And again, we have sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. Yes, he is spending a lot of time thinking about you this weekend, and just in general he thinks about you quite a lot, but especially this weekend he's thinking about you because I feel like he's like, for some of you, I feel like he's like out of his normal routine. Like he's not just sitting at home. He definitely feels like he's like out. Um so because he's like out of his normal routine, you know, he's like distant, he's far away from it so he can see it and process it more. So I do think there's a lot of really important realizations that he's coming to you at this particular moment in time. All right, let's go into the Romance Angels Oracle. Let's get a little bit more from him. Let's see what else he wants to tell you at this time. Free yourself. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like he really likes his freedom. He really, 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 really likes his freedom. And he's not in any rush to give his freedom away. This is very important to know about him. He really values his time. Number one, I feel like during the weekdays, he is committed to whatever, committed to his job, his boss, his business, whatever it is. There's something that has a grip on him and he doesn't feel a lot of freedom during the week. Like he has to get up at a particular time, he has to be at a certain place, he has to be there for a certain amount of hours, do certain things maybe he doesn't wants to do, doesn't want to do, okay? Um so I feel like for him, when he gets that opportunity to have his freedom, to have his time, he really values it and he really takes it. So, sometimes maybe he doesn't message you, he doesn't make plans with you and things like that. It's more because he needs that time to just feel himself again. He needs that time to like recharge, fill his cup, come back to himself, right? Find his autonomy again. So sometimes he needs that space, is what I'm getting, but it's not to be taken personal. It's not to be for you to think like, oh, you don't want to spend your free time with me. And it's like, yes, he does, but sometimes he needs time for himself. Okay. And I have codependency at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. That's something he looks for. He looks for that. That's something that he when he's talking to a girl, when he's dating a girl, he kind of wants to see like how clingy is this person? Like how needy is this person? How much of my time and energy do they take? So just know that he is testing this in you, okay? Hi, Clinda. Welcome. Okay, wow. We have this could be the one. Yes, you guys. Yes. He feels like you could be the one. He really truly genuinely feels this. And that's why he is thinking so differently right now. That's why this is like making him have to take a double take, making him have to really think because he's considering the fact that maybe the relationships that just didn't work out for him didn't work out because those people were not the one, right? Like, you know how they say when you meet the one, everything makes sense. It makes sense why things didn't work out with everybody else. He's kind of having that experience right now where he's like, "Oh, you know, now that I think about it, that person actually did treat me really bad, and that person did take me for granted, and that person never said nice things to me. That person never cared about me. That person was always selfish." And they're comparing that with you, and they're like, well, with her, she's always so kind, and she's always respectful, and she's always making sure that I'm okay, and things like that. And he's starting to put the pieces together. And he's like, wait a minute, like, maybe those were just not the people that were meant for me, and maybe this is. Okay? He's considering the fact that maybe he doesn't have a didn't have a bad love life, maybe he just hadn't met you yet. Okay? He's starting to consider that possibility. Bottom of the deck, I have forgiving and learning. Yes, he's kind of realizing, like, maybe I needed to meet those people at that particular moment in time. And, I learned a lot, but maybe that just wasn't the right experience? So, yeah, he's thinking heavily right now, heavily, heavily, heavily. Wow. And then I have love yourself first. Yeah, I do feel with him is regardless of, let's say, maybe the relationships he thought were going to work out, maybe those were the wrong relationships, right? But I also think too that he sort of needs to come back to himself and reclaim himself and, like, heal himself first before he can actually move forward into a good and healthy relationship. Like, I kind of feel like he does have, you know, a little bit of work to do in terms of healing before he's going to be able to enter a relationship fully and honestly. Okay? I do think there is a little bit of work to do. So he may need a little bit of time for himself just to, number 1, like, get his mindset right, to get his mindset right, because it's really nice that he thinks like you might be the one. It's really nice that he thinks so positively of you, and it's really nice that he, could see himself having a long-term relationship with you. But I feel like without you, take you out of the picture, he's not doesn't feel that way. Take you out of the picture, he has a lot of negative thoughts and a lot of negative emotions and a lot of limiting beliefs that if he brings that into your connection, if he brings that into your relationship, that's going to affect your relationship. So I do think he does need a little bit of time. He does need to contemplate and think and, you know, get himself whole again, because I do think he is holding on to the past. I do. I do think he's holding on to the past, and I do think that he is still looking at the options. Okay? He is still considering other options, like, though he maybe has identified you as, like, option 1, I do think that there may be other options, or he may still be swiping, he may still be on apps, he may kind of still have his looker on, okay? And trying to make sure that he's making the right decision. Not because you're not a good decision, but because he doesn't want to end up hurt again. So he wants to be sure that, okay, yeah, I'm picking the right person and this is right. And sometimes people need to compare other people to know for sure, like, no, this is it. But in all of that, don't let that make you feel insecure. Don't let that make you feel bad about yourself. Okay? This is coming down to you both just simply being on different levels of readiness for relationship, and does not mean there's something wrong with you. Okay. All right, let's get some messages from Spirit. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know, how Spirit wants you to think about this connection. As soon as I said that, the patience card came out. Okay. So Spirit is saying patience. Okay. Patience, patience, patience. And I do feel like some time is needing to be given in this scenario. Okay. For him to get clear and be 100% about what he wants. So I do think you need to give him time to really make sure that his feelings for you are real and not just, oh my god, she's so much better than everybody else. And that's what he's basing it upon, that he's actually going, yes, she's better than everybody else, and she's exactly what I want and what I'm looking for, and I'm choosing her. Okay. I feel like he's kind of on the front end of that statement where he's identified that, yes, you're better than most, you're better than a lot of the people out there, you're better than what he's experienced in the past. That's for sure. Okay. But I feel like he still is not necessarily knowing everything about you to make the decision of whether or not he wants to exclusively be with you. I feel like he doesn't have enough information, and I feel like there just hasn't been enough time. Okay. I feel like there hasn't been enough time, not enough information, not enough experience with you. There needs to just be more time. You guys need to have more, you need to date more, you need to court more. Okay. There just needs to be more of that for him to actually fall in love with you, where he's not looking around, where he doesn't have his options open, where he's not still on the apps. Like, he needs to get to the point where he's deleted all traces of his past, he's off the apps, he's fully committed to you, and, you know, really making it very evident and clear to you that this is the direction he's going in, that he's pursuing you and pursuing you alone. Until he makes that abundantly clear, I feel like you just need to stay in the kind of like getting to know each other phase. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. And also, what Spirit is saying on that as well is that's just going to come with time. As long as you guys stay in the way you are, as long as things stay the way they are right now, you guys are going to get there before you know it. So that it's not something that's super far off in the distance. Okay. We then have self-care. Yes. Yes. It's still important that you guys both see yourself as sovereign individuals, and it's still very important that you guys take care of yourselves and you take care of the elements of your life that need taking care of. Okay. um it's still very important that you have your time and he has his time, that he has his space and you have your space, and that you both, are taking care of the priorities in your life. That's still very important. Okay. This is not uh yet at the level where you're merging together. This is not yet at the level where you can kind of go, okay, well, he's going to take care of this, or she's going to take care of that. Like, you're not there yet, right? You're not there where you guys can start counting on the fact that the other person's going to do this or do that for each other. I do have soulmate at the bottom of the deck, which tells me that eventually, when this does come together, if and when this does come together, that's when you guys can really start leaning on each other. And I feel like there could be strengths and weaknesses that you guys have that the other person's going to like benefit from. Like, where he's strong, you may be weak, and where he's weak, you may be strong. And so when you guys come together, it will be a really good match. But right now, you still need to work on your weaknesses, right? Whatever you're weak in, you still need to work on that. And wherever he's weak, he still needs to work on that. Okay. So you guys can't drop the ball quite yet. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. Addiction. Okay. So addiction could be affecting this relationship. That could be another element here. That could be another reason why patience is needed, another reason why self-care is needed, because there could be something about him that you don't know. He could have an addiction you don't know about. Um, yeah. Yeah, what I'm getting from this is it may not be a full-blown addiction, but he definitely may have some toxic behaviors, okay? He definitely may have some toxic behaviors. Um, toxic patterns. Mhm. Yes. Where he may transfer that to another person, okay? Like, rather than doing the work, he may kind of throw that onto another person, or he may become, like, very addicted to the relationship and not focus on the self-care, right? Not focus on the things that he needs to do. So there could be a little bit of an element of that here as well, where you guys could sort of be in, like, the honeymoon phase, and there could be, like, a lot of, like, intense intensity going on, maybe a little love bombing going on, okay? And there could be that addiction to, like, that new love feeling, or that feeling of, like, this person's gonna save me, this person's gonna make my life better, this person's gonna, like, um yeah, like, if I have them, like, then I can overcome this. There's definitely something like that that's coming up, where it's like, "No, you've got to work through whatever that is." Um, like, this person may be trying to avoid a certain feeling. They may be trying to avoid sadness, or avoid pain, or avoid, feeling some type of negative energy, and, like, just wanting to throw themselves into love, right? Because love feels so good, love's so positive. When you're in love, it, like, consumes you, and you kind of, like, it's sort of like an escape. Like, love is kind of like a drug, okay? So there could be some level of that where this person's, like, addicted to that feeling, or, like, wanting to feel good and not wanting to feel pain, where they maybe need to address certain things about themselves. Mm. Yeah. And I was sort of getting that when I was talking about the challenge. Like, it does feel like this person is maybe still holding on to some type of pain and not wanting to address it, just trying to move forward, just trying to move beyond it without actually doing the underlying work. So that's another reason why things need to go slow, and another reason why there needs to be patience, and another reason why space and time and distance can be positive here, is because it gives this person time to really think about things and put things into perspective and make sense of things from their past, so that way they can, like, really wrap that chapter of their life up, learn the lesson, and then apply that moving forward to your relationship and not bring the negativity of the past. Okay? So, yeah, especially if you're, like, in the earlier phases of the relationship. Like, of course, when you first meet someone, it's always absolutely incredible. It's amazing. There's, like, nothing that as good as when you just meet someone and you have that connection, and there's no history and it's just all love and everything's so good. But that's also where the red flags get missed. So I do feel that because this maybe is starting to get real, because this person's starting to see longevity, that the real them is starting to come out. The real version of them is starting to come out, or they're really having to consider you getting to know the real side of them. And that might not all be super pretty. All right, final cards here. Final messages here. And then we'll hop into our readings. All right, we've got life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow, you'll be surprised where it leads. I feel like this is a message for your person. I feel like they are trying really hard to not feel pain. They're trying really hard to not feel heartbreak. They're trying really hard to not like they're trying to avoid something bad happening, but what I feel this person is learning at this time is life's going to happen, right? Life is just going to happen, and heartbreak is going to happen, and bad things are going to happen, and that's a part of the journey. And you can't be 100% sure that bad things are never going to happen, right? Like I feel like this person is trying to be really really careful in love and pick the perfect person as to avoid heartbreak, not understanding that every single person's going to break your heart. Like every single person's going to disappoint you or let you down or do something you don't like. And that's a part of relationships, and love is understanding that, right? Understanding that and not taking that personal, and not thinking the grass is going to be greener on the other side and there's going to be this perfect person. Like that is a delusion. And I feel like this person needs to understand that whatever they went through in the past, they were supposed to go through that experience and it was supposed to teach them something. And they were supposed to learn from it, and there's always going to be something better on the other side. I just feel like this person almost kind of is creating more stress in their life by not just going with the flow. So, yeah, I think that this person has a lot more pain or a lot more turbulence underneath the surface than what they let on with you. Okay. Sarah, I love that. I love like the idea that people are just living their normal life and like listening to these messages. Like, I love that. Let's see what else. Okay, I have give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. Yes, I feel like you are a super big blessing to this person. Like, not just to toot your horn and make you feel good about yourself, but like, truly, honestly, I feel like you are such a big blessing for this person. And this person knows that on some level, whether they, call you a blessing or not, they definitely know that you're very special. They know that you are coming with some type of energy that they just don't normally experience. And I feel like if this person can relax and just let things happen and let their guard down and just kind of let their heart flow, that you guys could have a very, very beautiful relationship that this person, oh my God, like this person, it's the relationship this person has always dreamed of. But they have to relax. They need to relax and they need to let their guard down. They need to go with the flow. They need to let the universe, God's spirit, just like direct this forward and not try to control it. I feel like this is someone that is very deserving of love. This is someone that does a lot of good things for people. They have a good heart. They work hard and they really deserve to have a good relationship. Okay. And yes, this person maybe has been sort of played or betrayed in the past, but with you, they don't have to worry about that. They don't have to worry about that. But they also need to recognize you. They need to recognize, like, okay, this is something good here. You need to enjoy it. So I do feel like this person just has a little bit of work to do to just let their guard down fully. All right, final message here. We've got surrender. That's exactly what it is. They need to surrender. They need to surrender. The card says at times we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. Yeah. Bottom of the deck, I have acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times, we must accept things as they are. There is no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. And that's this person's problem. They don't want to surrender to the natural flow of life. They don't want to surrender to the fact that life is going to have good and bad. They don't want to surrender, or they're having a hard time surrendering something that has happened to them in the past. And that's what's holding them back. That's what's holding them back. They need to surrender. And that is something that they are only going to be able to do themselves. Like, they have to get to that point themselves where they realize, where they come into the conscious understanding that I'm holding myself back by not surrendering. I'm holding on to the past and it's preventing me from taking advantage of the present moment. I'm the one that's stressing myself out because I'm not accepting the circumstances. And I'm mad about something that happened. I feel like this person is like mad, or they're angry, or they're frustrated about something that happened, and they're refusing to let go. And that's causing suffering. And then they could take that out into an addiction, right? They could be using something to try to release those emotions, but not actually releasing the real thing, right? They're maybe smoking, or they're drinking, or they're working, a lot, or they're working out a lot, or whatever. There's something that they're doing that they're thinking, okay, this is going to make me feel better. And it's maybe numbing the pain for a little bit, but it's not getting to the core. So this person needs to really like accept what happened to them, feel the feelings, and work through those feelings and move on. So that's them. That's what they've got to do. That's what they've got to do. So that's where they're at right now. So that's kind of what's happening with them this weekend. I feel like, are thinking about so many things. And the good thing is the thoughts are deep. And I feel like the thinking will be productive. The thinking is going to be productive, and it's going to help them to make some progress forward. Okay. So just trust the process, trust that whatever is going on in them is happening, that, God is showing them things and helping them to realize things, and that's going to positively benefit your connection. Okay. But, it's Not a question whether this person likes you, not a question whether this person wants a long-term relationship with you. That is all yes. But they definitely have some inner battles to fight before they can actually give you that which you're looking for and, actually be the person that they want to be for you. Okay. All right, guys. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that gave you lots of clarity, lots of insight, lots of guidance. If it did, do give this video a thumbs up. Even if you're watching in the recording, do give this video a thumbs up. And let's go ahead and let's move forward to our live readings. Okay. So for our list, we've got Sarah, we've got Clinda, and we've got Abigail. Okay. So Sarah, you can go ahead and post your question. You are very welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, so you say, I'd like to know the Aqua's future actions towards me. So for Sarah, what actions will the Aqua take towards Sarah? What are his next actions? What does Sarah need to know? Okay, so the next action, we have the sun. So this is beautiful. This person just intends to deepen the intimacy, deepen the connection, deepen the romance with you. That is the primary thing. So whatever that particularly means for your connection, that's what this person is thinking about. I also have the Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So it feels like this may be something that is off in the future or something that requires planning to happen. Like it might not be something that this person can necessarily initiate today. It may take time in order for them to fully get to the level of intimacy or get to the level of romance that they want to get to with you, but that is what they want. They want you guys to feel like uninhibited together. They want you guys to feel like there's no insecurities, there's no there's just like nothing preventing you guys from just fully being 100% vulnerable with each other, feeling extremely comfortable with each other, for you to feel totally free to be who you want to be, like to have your guard down, like for your inner child to shine, for you to be able to relax into your feminine. Like this person just wants you to have like no cares, no worries. Like they just want you to be super free. And same thing, like he wants to be at the point where, he can just show up and just be like, completely uninhibited with you as well. So that's like what he thinks about. Like he thinks about, you guys just just having no cares, no worries, just kind of being like two little teenagers in love and just being able to like live from that place where it's not so much like in our heads, where is this going? What are we thinking? Da 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 da. He wants it to kind of be like, we're not even worried about that. We're just so in love and we're just having such a good time that we're not even thinking about that type of stuff. So whatever it takes for you guys to get to that point, that's what actions he wants to take. You said the first reading really resonated as well for him because he got a little quiet. Yeah. It's not a bad thing. He's thinking. He's thinking. Um, he's trying to figure out what this is and if he's really going to do what it takes to make that happen. Because for him to do what that takes, that means, you know, that would mean he'd be taking things seriously. So that's what he has to decide is, do I really want to get serious here? And is that something that I'm ready for? Um, because it feels like he can't have one foot in and one foot out with you. It feels like either he's in or he's out. And so it feels like he has to really think hard about whether he's going to be all in or whether he's out. So just give him time. Just give him time to figure that out. It's a lot more complicated of a decision. It's not just like, oh, do I like her and want to go all in? No, it's way more complex than that. So just give him time to like work out all of the inner turbulence that is preventing him from being decisive. Okay. So hopefully that's helpful for you, Boo. Glad you enjoyed the reading. I don't know, maybe that's why the universe wanted me to come on earlier than normal today. Maybe that message was for you. Hi, Crystal. Thank you so much. I'll add you to the list. Glinda, you can go ahead and post your question. My pleasure, Boo. And then Abigail, let me know if you are here. All right, we'll go with Crystal. Crystal wants to know what is going on with my love life, relationship life. Well, you tell me what is going on. You tell me what's going on. Are you dating? Are you single? What's going on with you? Situationships. Bunch of nothing. Yep. So what is it that you really want to know? What's the root of what you really, really want to know? There you go. There's the question. All right. Sorry about that, Clinda. We'll get to you next, okay? You can push your question, Clinda. For Crystal, will Crystal meet anybody soon? All right. You've got the Two of Pentacles. Um, so it feels like what I'm getting here is you may have your do not disturb sign on, potentially unknowingly. Um, you may be putting out the energy that yeah, and I also have the Four of Cups at the bottom of the deck. It feels like your do not disturb sign is on. Like maybe you want connection, but you may not be presenting yourself in such a way that is letting the right people know that you're open and that you're available, or you are like not putting yourself in the right places to be seen by the right type of people, or the way you're presenting yourself, it's attracting the wrong type of people. So it feels like you like if you do want to meet someone, it's more about you being a little bit more strategic and being a little bit more um conscious of the way that you're presenting yourself and where you're putting yourself out to, and making sure that you're being selective in the sense that you're very clear about what you want, and you are also what your dream person wants too, right? So you may say, well, I want someone that, has their ish together, and someone who's not playing games, and someone who, you know, um, is a man and all this stuff, right? Like you may say like I want this and I want this and I want that, but also make sure that you are attractive to the man that you're trying to find too, right? Like it goes both ways. It's not just one way. It's not just give me what I want. You also have to make sure that you're attractive to what you want as well. And it feels like you may have a guard up, or you may be unknowingly kind of presenting yourself in a way that's like repelling the type of man you want, and bringing in the wrong type of man. So I would just, write a list of what it is that you're looking for, and then think, okay, what is this man looking for? And make sure that you are what he's looking for too. So it's more in control than you think. Your love life can really go either way right now. Like it can go good or it can go bad. It just depends on the way that you're presenting yourself, the energy you're putting out there. That's determining how your love life is progressing forward. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I got for you. Hopefully that is helpful. Clinda, you can post your question. You are welcome, Crystal. And then Abigail, let me know if you are here. If not, we're going to go ahead and close the list. What exactly do you want to know about Peter. Ah, okay, I see. So no communication. Okay. So let's see. All right. So as soon as I started shuffling, I had the Queen of Pentacles pop out. The reason why you're in no communication, the reason why he's not reaching out right now is because he feels like you are just on a whole different level than him. Okay. And that might be true. That's probably true, right? It's not just something he's imagining. Like you may really be more stable than him. You may really be more focused than him. You may really know what you want a little bit more than him. And he may not be able to be at your level. He may not be able to offer you anything. He may not be able to really um meet you where you are. Okay. I do see that he is interested, but it's like he can't really give you he can't really give you anything. Okay. So he's kind of like, what's the point? You know, she's gonna reject me. So why bother trying? That's kind of how he feels. Okay, so his intention, the death card. Yeah, like he feels like the way for this to work out with you is like he's going to have to make some really big changes to himself and really big changes to his life that he's not ready to make. Okay, like it's going to be a long process before a long time before he is in a position where he can be what you're looking for. Okay. So it feels like you're just like ahead of him. You're like, you know, you're just like a couple years ahead of him in terms of your maturity, even though maybe he's older than you. You're like older than him in maturity. And it's going to take a long time and a lot of effort for him to get to where you are. And by the time he does that, you'll probably be interested in somebody else. So he just doesn't see the point. Like he doesn't see the point in pursuing you because he's like, this isn't gonna work. Like it's just not gonna work. I like her, but it's not gonna work. So yeah, like he just doesn't feel good enough for you. He doesn't feel like he can give you anything. So once guys have kind of made up their mind about that, it's sort of hard to change it unless um you reach out to them and you know let them know that you're interested in them exactly how they are, you know, which maybe you are, maybe you're not. But in that case, you would have to reach out to him. You would have to kind of move things along and let him know, like, I do want you. So, yeah, do shoot your shots. But if you're just leaving it in no communication, then he's like, yeah, you know, if she's not reaching out to me, then you know, what I think is right, you know, because if she did like me, she would reach out to me. She would close the communication. So he just feels like you're not interested. He feels like he's not good enough for you. And he doesn't see the point in, you know, seeing where this is going to go any longer. Hello, Aniket. Our free list is closed for the night or day. Exactly. If you think that, like, if you think that he is really not on your level and that's why things are not moving forward with you and you want things to move forward with him, yeah, then you would have to lower your standards. Or maybe it's that he doesn't see how good he is and, you know, you actually do think he has is good enough for you and you just want to let him know like, no, do shoot your shot, then that would be a different scenario. But if you really genuinely think that he's like beneath you, then yeah, no, like just leave this alone. You know what I mean? But if you do think that he is up to your standards, but you think he's just too shy to, you know, to come towards you, then that's when I'd say it's okay to reach out. But, never lower your standards, especially if you have other options and, don't lower your standards. You said he's currently doing casual dating, but I'm looking for more, which is trying to see if things have changed. Um, I mean, it's kind of like what I was talking about in the general reading. Like, you are probably the type of person that he would be interested in dating long term, but that doesn't mean he's ready for that. He's definitely not ready for that, and it probably would take a lot of, you know, effort for you to get him to kind of change his mind, like you would have to do a lot of flirting with him, you'd have to do a lot of um, kind of like getting him to open up to you and things like that. Like you could make him get to that point, but him himself, if you just leave him alone, yes, he is just sort of in the mood for, casual. That's just where he's at. But as with any guy, like under the right circumstances with the right girl, they will give her a relationship if they feel like that relationship is going to be beneficial to them, right? If they feel like that relationship is going to be beneficial to them and that relationship is going to give them value and that person's not going to try to like, you know, hold them back and nag them and bring them down, yes, men are open for relationship, but you know, it really just depends on, how fire you think he is. If you think he's worth that, then I would say open to it. But if you're like, no, he's not that great, it's not worth it, then I'd say just leave this guy alone because it is a lot of effort and it just depends on if you think he's worth the effort or not. Sarah, thank you so much. Okay, I see here. I see your question here. Ah, yeah. Yeah, just leave it alone. Not worth it. You are welcome. Alrighty. So, Sarah, you are up, my love. Let me see what we have here. Um, is the Aqua the guy we were talking about last time? That guy's an Aquarius? Sarah, give me 1 second, okay? Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Let me know if you can hear me, okay? Oh, okay. Is the Aqua the guy we were talking about last time? I forget his name. I think it was an A name. Oh, okay. So this guy's an Aquarius. Interesting. 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 All right. And then I did see the second part of your message there. I'm sorry to hear about that. I hope you're okay. But yes, let's see what's going on with this guy. Let's see what you need to know. So, most important messages for Sarah, please. How is A currently thinking and feeling about her? How is he feeling about their connection? What is currently going on? All right, let's cut the deck here. Okay, so in his current overall energy towards you, we've got the Seven of Wands. Okay, yeah, that makes sense that things have like gone quiet. Okay, um, first of all, you know, it's like because we did just get into May, a lot of the energy shifted. We had a full moon in Scorpio, so that's going to bring up a lot of stuff. And with him being an Aquarius, that means that this full moon is squaring him. Okay, so he can definitely be feeling a type of way right now. Okay, for sure. For sure, for sure. And that likely is not personal. Okay, we'll obviously keep going with the reading. But with the Seven of Wands, like this is showing that he has there's a lot of like competing things for his energy right now. Um, there is like multiple, uh, let's actually clarify this because there's like multiple things. I'm not getting one thing from him. Let's see what's going on. 10th house. Yep. Well, we don't know his, exact ascendant, but if we put Aquarius as his ascendant, Scorpio is the 10th house. So there's definitely something going on in regards to his work, his career, his, business if he has business, something that could be going on with the father. It feels really big, whatever it is. There's something going on, and I feel very, very strongly that it truly has nothing to do with you. Like, it's truly not a you thing. It's so much more of a him thing. But what I'm ultimately getting from that is that because of whatever's going on with this puts you guys in two different energies, okay? You may be more emotionally open, more emotionally available, or wanting that emotional availability from him right now, and he likely just doesn't have it. Or for him, it's he's much more internal right now, so his emotions are not being expressed outwardly, his emotions are inward. So you could be outward and he is inward. So I feel like you guys are just on different pages right now. Okay. All right. The way he's thinking about you is the Six of Pentacles. He feels like you're looking for uh, an equal. You're looking for a match in terms of, if you put a certain amount of energy out into the connection, you want to get that amount of energy back. And he's kind of sitting here like, I can't really meet her halfway at this particular moment in time. Like, the desire is there, but there's just something that's much more pressing. Um, there's something much more pressing in his life. And not to say that this connection is not important to him, it's just that there's something that's really, really important for him to take care of right now. And that's taking all of his time and energy. So, again, you may be able to prioritize this and make a lot more time for this than he is at this particular moment in time. Yeah, you said hopefully he'll tell me soon. Yes. You said yes because I was more open. He was more open than I was prior, and I was slowly opening. Now I'm more open. He's gone hermit. Yep. He did tell me yesterday morning that his day will be crazy, giving me a heads up. Yes. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. So likely there is something that came up for sure. With Scorpio, it could be financial. Okay. Definitely something financial could be going on, and it could be serious. Okay. So I don't think it's personal, but it definitely is throwing off his ability to show up here. So the way he's feeling at this time is the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, he's still interested in pursuing you. He's still interested in seeing where this is going to go. Okay. That hasn't changed. And for him, he sees this as long term. So he doesn't feel like, okay, if we don't talk for a couple days, that shouldn't change the long term trajectory, right? So again, he doesn't really see it as a big deal if, he doesn't text you for a couple days, because he's like, let's say hypothetically speaking, this does last a lifetime. It's like a couple days is not going to kill us, right? And if you're thinking long term and I'm thinking long term, a few days isn't going to make or break it. So he feels like it's okay to not, reach out. Okay, the way he feels about the connection is the Chariot. Yeah. This connection with him, for him, is more it's like an emotional experience, or like an emotional journey, let's say. Whereas whatever's going on with him right now is more practical. Like, he's having like a practical crisis, or a practical, just like a practical situation that requires like a practical solution. And so he's just like much more in his brain than he is in his heart. And this connection for him is more in the heart. So he's just not in the heart space right now. And you may be more in the heart space. You're like, where are you at? I'm here. Where are you at? And he's like, no, like, I want to be there for you, but I'm just over here right now. And I need to be over here at this particular moment in time. You said, I'm so emotional today. Brie, yeah, I understand. You're like, I need to work on that. No, it is very, very normal and very feminine to be in your emotions. It's not something you need to work on. It's something that you just need to accept. You said, I'm not the emo type, but I am with him. That's good. That's good. Yeah, he has Mars in Cancer. Oh, girl. Yep, he emo. All right. Mars in Cancer. that you've just gotten yourself into like the most emo situation possible. Okay, so the challenge here is the Four of Cups. Yes. He's just not emotionally available right now. Period. Period. Full stop. That's all that card is saying. He's just not emotionally available right now. Not that he's never going to be emotionally available for you, not that he's not that he is pulling away, anything like that. No, it's not that at all. It's just circumstantial, it's just situational. And that's a very interesting dynamic for him. So he has Capricorn moon, but then he has Mars and Cancer. Huh. That will create a lot of turbulence in a person, for sure. You said maybe tomorrow he will be. I don't want to be super needy. I'll see if you should reach out or not. Let's see. Let's keep going. So I have the Four of Swords. That is clarifying the Seven of Wands. Oh boy, Mercury and Pisces. Woo. Okay, yeah, that's gonna also add a interesting flavor too. Um, but yes, so I have the Four of Swords. So yeah, he's in his head right now. He's in his head. That's where he's at. And, you know, like I said, this connection is in the heart. So it's like he maybe feels like he's not there. He feels like he's unavailable because he's literally not available because all of his energy is in the headspace. So yeah, I can definitely see what you're feeling at this particular moment in time. I can see what's going on here. Okay, clarifying the Six of Pentacles and how he's thinking about you. We have the Lovers. Yeah. You know, again, it's like a couple days for him. It's like whatever, it's like I still feel what I feel. Mercury in Pisces too, that's going to be someone that's going to disappear from time to time, right? Like Mercury is communication and Pisces can go in and out. Pisces can hide. Pisces can be, quiet and introverted. So that this is probably something that is normal with him. Like sometimes he's just going to go inside. He's going to go up to another world, another, realm, and then he'll come back when he's ready. So, yeah, I definitely see that there's still love for you here. He still feels the connection. He's just not available for the connection. Okay, clarifying the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Sun. So that came out, in your mini reading. Yes. He sees you as like his positive energy. Right now he's dealing with negative energy, you know? So just oh, good. He replied. Good. Good, 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 good. Good. Yes. So whatever he was going through has probably resolved now and he's ready to come back and get his good energy from you. You said he's like, chill. I'm not feeling well. He said it just like that. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Anyhow, let's keep going here. All right. We have I was like, "Oh, that's kind of crazy." Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. He's just not like in the same probably bubbly energy that he normally is at this particular time. He's like, I wouldn't ghost you. It displeases me that you would feel that way. That's not how I am. Did you think he was ghosting you? Is that what you told him? Or is he just like assuming that? Yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't put that on him, but I understand, like, you might be feeling a type of way right now, I totally get that. But clarifying the Chariot and how he feels about the connection, I have the High Priestess, so, like I was saying in the general, like, there's a lot that he's learning from this, there's a lot that he's, gaining from this, like, this is good for him, and yeah, like he's saying, he's not gonna ghost because he's getting a lot of value and a lot of benefit from this, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, clarifying the Four of Pentacles and the challenge, I have the Seven of Pentacles. So again, same card that came out in the general where, he's still trying to figure out like, okay, am I really like all in here? He's still trying to make that decision. So you're going to see him being hot and cold. You're going to see him coming in and coming out because he's still making the decision. I know in the beginning he was very like coming heavy, coming hot, he's doing this, he's doing that. But, those are all just like, courting behaviors, let's say. But to actually decide to commit and decide to be all in and decide to like be your person and be like the person you're relying on, like that he hasn't made that decision yet. Like that he hasn't committed to yet, right? So he's still making that decision. So yeah, you're gonna see him being, hot and cold. He's gonna test you, right? Like he's gonna test to see how you're gonna get, how you're gonna be, because he's trying to figure you out. Before he commits, he needs to sort of like see the different sides of you, see, how needy you're gonna be, or how codependent you're gonna be, or how you're gonna act when he goes cold, right? Like you're still in like the testing phase, so he doesn't have all the information that he needs to decide at this particular moment in time. So let's see what he wants to say. Woo. All right. First things out, I hope you can forgive me one day. And the bottom of the deck, I hide behind material things. Okay. So, yes, what you see on the outside with him is not the inside. It's not the inside. It's not who he really, really is. And I do feel like he may have given you an idea or a picture of who he is that isn't authentic. And so I feel like he's saying, like, hopefully when you really know the real me, like you still like me and you're still interested in me. But this version of him is only going to come out in time. Okay. We then have it's my fault, but I blamed you. So I feel like this is also saying like he can have a tendency to like, not be sensitive to other people's emotions and, like, make it seem like the other person is being irrational, but really it's like he's not understanding where the other person is coming from, which one is kind of like a little bit of just immaturity, right? That he still needs to work through. But two, it's also just like a sign of him not really being fully ready for a relationship, like him not really fully being in the place that he needs to be, where he can be like empathetic and sympathetic to another person. He maybe is good at the material things, right? Like, here, let me buy you something. Here, let me take you here, da 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 da. But he's not as good with like the emotional side. He's not emotionally sensitive. Okay. And to be honest, like, he may never really be like that. Like, he may never really be fully on that level. Like, that's definitely not his strong suit. And it will take him many, many years to perfect that part of himself. Okay, and then the final card is I am not available. Yeah, right now he's just not available. He's just not available to give you the emotional comfort that you're needing right now. Okay? And again, on one side, it's not really for him to do, like it's not really his job or responsibility. It's not really something that he needs to do. And number two, I feel like it's not something that he's like able to do. Like he's not really awesome at that. So that's like something to just know about him. Like, and again, that's like what I was talking about in the general, like your level of emotional availability and your level of emotional readiness and your ability to show up and like support may be very different than his level. And that makes you guys on different pages, which may prevent the connection from moving forward because you're just not on the same level in terms of that. And that may be something that, you know, can be a deal breaker here. All right, let's see what Spirit wants you to know. Okay, we have abundance. So, what I'm getting from this is like you have everything that you need with inside of you to work through, get through this moment in your life right now. Like, there's nothing that he has or nothing that he can do for you that's gonna like make you feel better. Like, you have all of the tools at your disposal. You just have to implement them. Okay. So don't feel like, there's something in him that like he's not giving me, he's withholding from me that I don't already have myself. You have everything you need in your life. Okay. I also have trust. Okay. So, and I have second chance as well. Okay. So, um, starting off with trust, I feel like this is still a good situation. Like, though he may not be 100% emotionally available, though he may not be exactly on the same page as you, I do feel that if you take this slow, you take your time, you have your expectations set properly of what he can do and what he can't do, then this is still okay to put your faith into. Okay. I do have second chance as well. So, like, if you guys are on different pages and you do kind of fall off, I do think that if the opportunity presents itself for you guys to keep things going, then I would definitely keep this going. Okay. All right. Let's grab some Romance Angels cards. Woo. There's like 40 cards that came out here. Most important messages, please. Alrighty. We have stay optimistic about your love life. Yes. that is just echoing what the spirit guidance cards were saying is this is still good. This is still good. Even though at this particular moment in time, you may want him to kind of show up in this particular way or, um, act a particular way. Just because he can't show up right now doesn't mean he can never be like that. It's just not right now. And I would still stay optimistic about this connection. It's just circumstantial. Like I said, like energetically, it's a challenging time. Okay. And the next card is keep an open mind. Yeah. Keep an open mind and, be understanding of just sort of the circumstances and the situations that are going on right now. Yes. And then I have new love. Okay. Like this is just so new. This connection is just so new. And there's still a lot of things you don't know about each other. There's still a lot of things that you're figuring out. Like you just can't really expect a whole ton from this yet. So I just feel like it's more about like just properly adjusting your expectation here. That will keep this light and keep this, of where it needs to be. Woo. Alrighty, so final cards here. Okay, so we have deep in your heart, you already know the answer, do what feels right. So I think once your emotions kind of calm down and you're able to see past this and kind of see where he's coming from, I think you'll be able to rationalize this a little bit better. But ultimately, like, you have to do what feels right for you. Okay. So whatever feels right for you to do at this particular moment in time, like that's what you should do. You said I can be a little detached and love, but I guess I'm a vulnerable lady now. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay. All right, we have life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow, you'll be surprised where it leads. Yes. I don't think that this is as bad as you think. I don't think this is like a make it or break it moment. I think that this is more of where you and him are energetically on different pages. And that happens all the time, right? Like all the time, from day to day, your energy shifts a little bit, your partner's energy shifts a little bit, and sometimes you're just a little bit off. And there's moments where you're feeling really, really sensitive and you're really needy, and that person's like super independent and super in their own world, and it can feel like they're not there, but it's not, them ignoring you or them like trying to, do something bad to you. It's just that they're in their energy and doing what life is asking of them, right? And you're in your energy and you're doing what life is asking for you, and it's not like their responsibility to like always be available for your emotional whim. Just because you're in a relationship or in a connection, it's doesn't mean it's your partner's job to be there, for you, like truly. So I think that it's just there's just like no need to stress about it. There's not a need to stress about it. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I will look at the second donation in a second here. All right, last card for this reading. Okay, power. Okay, this one also came up for you in your last reading. So you instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or walk away at any time. So, if this is too much, if you're like, this is not the type of relationship that I want to be in, I want someone that's more emotionally like sensitive and more emotionally available, then like you don't have to do this. You don't have to um you don't have to subject yourself to this. But I do think that this connection offers you the chance to learn how a different type of man operates. And this type of man is going to be different than anyone that you have dated in the past who maybe is a little bit more emotionally available. And that's kind of what I was saying in your reading the last time is like with this person, he may not be very emotionally available. He may not, be very emotionally sensitive because his focus is going to be more on the real practical matters. And so, you know, it's more about you adjusting your expectation of what he can do and what he can't do. He's probably not going to be the type of guy that's going to be texting back and forth with you about how are you feeling, right? But he will be the type of guy to throw $10,000 in your bank account, right? So it's like pick which one. You're probably not going to get both, but you'll probably get one, and it just depends on like what's better for you and what feels good for you. But I don't think he's like losing interest or doesn't want this or is purposely icing you out. Like it's definitely nothing of that. It's that he's busy with something that's in regards to career, which is connected to his finances, which is probably the most important thing, in his life right now. So these are the moments where you want to be like really, understanding of what he's going through. Okay. So sometimes that means, not having his support, but, making sure that your financial situation is good. Okay. So it's just a different way of doing connection is all. Alrighty. All right, let's clear this off and then I'll look at your second question here. Okay, so you want to know how will Aries and I resolve this? Okay. How will Aries and Sarah resolve this? Okay, I have 3 cards that are coming out here. I have 5 of Swords, 4 of Wands, and Page of Wands. Aw. Okay, so number 1, like, there's nothing, like, really to resolve, like, nothing happened. Like, nothing actually happened. He, you know, got busy, he got busy and that's it. And it wasn't, um, it's not something that is like a problem, like he's going to get busy, you know, if he is, you know, uh, a dominant man, he's a working man, he has assets he's managing, he has money that he's, needs to look after, like that's always going to be number 1. That's always going to be his top priority and that's always going to be what his focus is and that's just like who he is and his life and if you're with him you'll benefit from that and that's the cost. The cost is sometimes he's going to be busy focusing on that And so I don't think there's anything to actually resolve. I don't think anything actually happened. So I think you guys are just that's something you guys are not going to see in the same way. You're not going to see that as like he's not going to see that as a problem where you may see it as a problem. But it's more of like just having to be understanding of his situation. You might just only be seeing it from your perspective like, oh, he didn't text me or he's gone quiet. Like, what's up with that? But not seeing it from his perspective where he's like, I'm going through something very challenging right now. Like I'm feeling very stressed or I'm dealing with this. Like, it's not something that I need to, it wasn't anything personal. You know what I mean? So I think the resolving is just seeing the situation for like what it really is and understanding that it really wasn't anything. It wasn't anything and like that's nothing. That is seriously nothing and you probably will experience that with him multiple times. Um then we have the 4 of Wands. So it's like how to resolve this is you guys just need to have fun. You guys just need to relax, have fun, get back to the lightheartedness of the connection. And Page of Wands, like just remember what you guys are building, what you guys are working towards. Like that should keep you, at bay. Okay. So there's nothing to resolve. You just have to just accept that this is how he's going to be from time to time. Okay. So how will the date go with him next Friday? Alrighty. All right. So again, 3 cards. I have Knight of Pentacles, the Moon, and Judgment. Wow. Okay. Well, it's going to be a very consequential evening. Okay. Very, very consequential evening. You will know a lot more. You will know a lot better where this is heading as a result of that. Okay. Like there could be like a big decision that is made on that night. Let me see. What's the bottom of the deck? Ace of Cups. Yeah, there actually could be a really big decision made on that night, or that night leads to a commitment. Okay. So for one, I see him being very, very, very trying very, very hard to win you over on that night. Trying very, very hard. I see him making some type of offer to you. It may be an offer of something to come in the future, but I see him like trying to convince you of something, trying to convince you to give you his time, to give you your time, for you to give him your time, for you to give him your energy, something. There's something he wants from you on this night. And then with the Moon, there's a lot of deep emotion that is exchanged. So I see there's a deepening of the connection. There's a deepening for sure. And then it feels like you guys have enough information to make a decision. I don't feel like there needs to be, a ton of more dates for both of you to know what you want here. And I think very, very, if not that night, very soon after, some type of commitment is made, or it could be the decision to be exclusive. Yeah, or like committing to something, like I'm promising this to you. You have some sort of promise here. Yeah. It's like you have some sort of certainty here. Something you know for sure. So it'll be very, very, very good. So I would let this little whatever you didn't hear from him for a couple days, whatever, I would really let that go because I feel like something very, very good is coming shortly thereafter. Okay. Shortly thereafter. And by the way, I just noticed this. Your payments are pending. So, do you want to take a look at that and make sure that they go through? Yeah, things are going to move quickly. Very, very quickly. Maybe even that night. Yeah. So, I wouldn't worry about whatever this little thing is. I would get ready for that night. It's cuz you care. You care, you like him. So it matters. So he's important to you. So you should just like accept that. Like accept that you like him. So you want things to go a certain way and that's okay. All right, love. So hopefully that was helpful. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. And yes, if you could look into those and just make sure that those go through. I don't know. I think when people do like e-check, I think it like doesn't go through. So yeah, if you could just make sure they go through, that would be great. Alrighty. So take care. Good luck. We'll talk very, very soon. Hello, love. Let me know if you can hear me. Perfect. Awesome. All right, let's take a look at your May. So, first things first, yesterday we had full moon in Scorpio. So, hopefully, you are doing well after that. That took place for you in your second house of finances. So, that will, that would have revealed to you, the reality of where you're sitting at right now, okay, for better or for worse. Now, you do have your Pluto that is there, so that could have been intense, but the whole point of that full moon for you was really showing you the big picture of your finances and showing you, what maybe needs to change in order for you to get your finances in order, uh, in the way that you need them to be in order. Okay. Hello, Andrea. Welcome. Sarah. Okay. That sounds good. Yeah, I don't think there's anything. I don't know if I can do anything on my side about that. Um, Hold on. Give me 1 second, Rhoda. Let me just double check and make sure I can't do anything over here. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, there's nothing I can do over here. Sarah, thank you so much. I did get the Cash App, but make sure that you cancel the PayPals. I can't I have no option to reverse it or do anything on my end, and I don't want it to go through twice. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you know when it goes through then, okay? Make sure you make sure you don't forget though, just in case I forget. Alrighty. You are very welcome. Thank you and have a good day. Just relax. Everything's working out with your boy and you're going to be so 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 happy I think in the next couple of weeks. So, have a good day. We'll talk soon. Um okay. So, for Miss Rhoda, you said this past week has been very intense. Yeah, I would imagine so. I would imagine so with a full moon on your Pluto. I would think so. Um, you said, I'm trying to take a step back and evaluate what needs to change instead of spiral. What exactly has been intense? What do you mean taking a step back? Like what is going on? So we can tailor this reading exactly to the questions that you have. You said my anxiety hits physically, so I'm working on finding other ways of grounding. Okay. So is it just what do you mean it hits physically? Like, what does that mean? You said exams and end of month paperwork landed all in the same week, and I screwed up all my paperwork. Yikes. You passed exams though. Well, that is good. That is very, very good. So we'll keep going and hopefully this will like all answer like questions for you as we go along. But yeah, basically the full moon in Scorpio for you is really, if it's not financial for you, then it's a lot about your confidence, okay? And trying to help you to get to the root of what is like maybe preventing you from having the level of confidence that you need to like perform and the level that you want to perform. And the fact that your Pluto is involved shows like this is definitely not straightforward. It's something that, can take time for you to get to the bottom of, but there likely is something that there's still something there, right? There's still something there that is needing to be rooted out. There's still something there where you're needing to get to the core problem, right? Like you may be seeing the symptoms of it, but you're not really getting to the problem, right? Like, you're saying like my stomach is in knots and you think like you're having a stomach problem, but really like you're having like a deeper problem than that. That's just like the manifestation of how it comes out. So there's definitely something deeper underneath the surface that's still needing to you're still needing to get to. And that's the thing with Scorpio. Like if you don't get to the heart of the matter, if you don't get to the truth of the matter with Scorpio, you're going to feel very uncomfortable. Like Scorpio wants to know everything, wants to get to the bottom of everything. And if it doesn't, it just feels like, ugh. So, you know, I would recommend really questioning yourself and really getting really real and really getting really honest with yourself about like what is the actual problem, like what is it that I'm actually worried about or afraid of, and that's going to help you to start to uncover like where this anxiety is really stemming from, okay? Because it's likely not like the surface level things, it's likely something a lot deeper, especially because your Pluto is involved here. Okay, so over the next 2 weeks, while this energy is like active, you'll probably get to the bottom of that. All right. Then today, May 2nd, Mercury entered Taurus, which for you is your eighth house. Another intense house here. Okay. So, the eighth house is where all of our secrets lie, it's where all of our traumas lie. It's where all of our psychological issues lie. And with Mercury being here, Mercury is going to also want to get to the bottom of what's really going on underneath the surface. So, this is going to be an excellent time over the next 3 weeks to get into therapy, to do some really deep, deep healing work, to work with some type of healer, some type of spiritualist, some type of somebody, Reiki, something. Like you really want to get in with somebody and get to the root cause of where the anxiety comes from and unroot these things so that way you can feel peace, okay? Because until you really find out what the core is, you're just going to continue to have anxiety, okay? Um, so this month is asking you to go deeper, deeper than where you're currently at right now. Then on May 6th, Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation, is going retrograde. And that's going to happen in Aquarius. And that for you is your fifth house of love, dating, romance, children, but also just your ability to be creative, your self expression, your inner child. So that could be where, some of this anxiety is coming from as well. So it's either coming from past romantic situations, um, romantic trauma, something to do with your children, something around that situation, or it has something to do with your inner child, or it could be all of the above. Okay. But that could be giving you a bit of a clue of where this is all stemming from. Okay. Or kind of what really needs to be evaluated. Okay. So, again, over the course of this month, that's something that's going to become a bit more obvious. Then on May 9th, you're going to have the third quarter moon also in Aquarius, so also in your fifth house. So, a third quarter moon is where you have a chance to reflect and review and go over things that, need to be relooked at. And there could be something in that fifth house that maybe, is uncovered with Pluto going retrograde that you go, you know what? Maybe there's a little bit more here that's not allowing my soul to be at peace. Okay. So that's going to be again in regards to love, dating, romance. With the Pluto retrograde, this could be talking more about the past. Okay, talking about your childhood, talking about your ability to express yourself, feeling comfortable, being you, feeling comfortable being seen, feeling comfortable being heard. You could have a lot of anxiety around that for some reason. Maybe you weren't like allowed to express yourself when you were younger. You weren't allowed to do what you wanted to do. You maybe had to like kind of like be quiet or be small or something like that. And so now anything where you're kind of going out and being off on your own like causes anxiety because it's like this feels so uncomfortable. So just an example there, not saying that's exactly what it is, but there could be something like that that's going on that you're going to get more clarity on. All right, then a whole week later, we then will have the new moon in Taurus, and that is also going to be in your eighth house of death, rebirth, and transformation. So now you're going to have this whole month where you can really dedicate to get to the bottom of some of your, psychological stuff. Okay, so I feel like the first part of the month, you maybe can start to get some work done here, start to, get to the bottom of things. But really, the next month is where you like commit to doing that. You commit to really getting to the bottom of the anxiety, getting to the bottom of certain problems that are still, that still have a grip on you. And, really commit to finding solutions here. Then on May 17th, Mercury will leave Taurus and enter Gemini, which it'll go into your ninth house. So this is where you might find yourself very, very focused on school, right? You might be, there could be a lot of stuff going on with school, lots of exams, lots of studying, things like that, where you're sort of like really wrapped up into that. But if it's not that, this also could be you thinking a lot about your beliefs, your philosophy, your worldview, religion, spirituality, connecting more with your higher self. And that could be as a result of everything that's going on in your eighth house. Because when something goes through the eighth house, it comes out the other side transformed. So you may have some big realizations with Mercury in your eighth house, which on the other side of that, then it's like, okay, wow, now I get it. Now I understand. Now it's time to really heal and grow and implement what I have learned. And so you may want to like read books about something, or you may want to take like an online course about something that realize, or there could be like a modality that you find could be helpful for dealing with anxiety and you want to learn more about it. Maybe you want to learn more about NLP, or you want to learn more about, you know, tapping or whatever, like there could be something that you find really interesting and you want to like learn all about it. Okay. Then on May 18th, Mars will enter Taurus. So again, your eighth house is activated again. So now Mars is what you're doing, what you're taking action on, or it could be something being really irritated or afflicted here. Okay. So this can be a good thing and a bad thing. You can find yourself getting really triggered by things. You can find yourself getting really angry or upset about things. Things could be coming up from the past. Anger that maybe you suppress could be coming back up again. But again, anytime something happens in the eighth house, it's coming up so it can be resolved. So, just be aware of that. Also on May 18th, Venus will enter Cancer, and this will be in your 10th house of your career, your public reputation, and status. So this can be a nice period of time when it comes to your career. You can just have a lot more ease, a lot more flow, a lot more an easier time working with like bosses or authority figures at this time. So if there's anything you want to like ask them, you want to raise, or you want more help from them, you want more support from them, when Venus goes into Cancer, that's a good time to ask. Then on May 20th, the sun will enter Gemini, and that for you is your 9th house. So again, when the sun goes there, then you're going to be really focused on learning in some way, either traditional book learning for school, or, learning for self growth and learning for development. Then on May 23rd, you'll have the first quarter moon in Virgo. Okay, so that's coming off of that new moon in Taurus. And this for you is going to be in your 12th house. Okay. So based upon whatever, is seated for you at the time of the new moon, then once you hit the first quarter moon, this is where you're going to have to do the behind the scenes inner work. So with the new moon, you may realize, okay, this is the problem. And then come the first quarter moon, it's like, okay, now I need to address the problem on a deep psychological and unconscious level to fix this. So this is where you might need to do some type of healing modality that that's going to help you to work through whatever it is. Or you could have you could be having a lot of dreams, or could be a lot of healing coming through in your dreams. This could be a good time to do like subliminals and things like that, like subliminals for healing. It's a good time to do any type of work that's going to like uncover things that you can't see, or working with somebody, working with a healer, working with a therapist, someone that can point your blind spots out to you and expose them. Because really, truly, oh my God, that just scared the crap out of me. Really, truly, there is just probably something that you're not seeing. Like you just can't see it. Like you're just so stuck in your head. You're so stuck in your world. And you probably just need someone to come in and like pull things out of you, or to probe you, or to kind of like push you or challenge you to see things from a different perspective. That's probably what needs to happen more than anything. Okay, so then final thing for the month, we'll have a full moon in Sagittarius. So we're going to have 2 full moons this month, which is rare. That happens once in a blue moon. So the second full moon is going to happen for you in your 3rd house, which is the house of learning, right? Learning and communicating and sharing and expressing things. So it feels like after this whole entire month where you're like heavily triggered in a very intense way, with this full moon, there's like finally the ability to make sense of everything, finally the ability to put it all together and, be able to express what you're going through. So, the good thing about this month is like if you really do put in the work, if you really do put in that, deep, intense psychological work, by the end of the month, you will have clarity. By the end of the month, it'll make so much more sense. You'll be able to like communicate better about what the actual problem is. Not that it may be healed fully, but you'll definitely have a better idea of, okay, this is why I have anxiety. This is where it comes from. This is, the solution. And, moving forward, this is what I'm going to do. Like, you'll at least be at that place, which can, you know, really move the needle forward. Because the first step is just being aware. You're kind of in the stage before that awareness, which is like, why is this happening, right? You're trying to get to the bottom of it. Well, that's what's happening this month. You have the opportunity to get to the bottom of it. And then once you get it, then you can, work your way out of it. So I would definitely, you know, prioritize therapy this month, prioritize working with some type of healer, some type of practitioner, use some type of occult method because the eighth house is occult methods, some type of occult method to help you to, get to the bottom of things. And then, do your research and learn and seek out teachers and seek out information, seek out wisdom as well. And then do that behind the scenes work. So you got a busy month ahead of you for sure, but it can also be a very transformational month, which is what the eighth house and what Scorpio is all about. It's all about transformation, real transformation. Alrighty. Exactly. Leads to start the process. You are welcome. Good luck. Alrighty, guys. So that is going to be it from me for the day. Hope that was helpful. Hope you guys enjoyed your readings. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I'll talk to you guys all very, very soon. Take care. Bye.